Hello, my name's Aaron Barth. I'm the kid that's got a spirit problem. Yes, it's true. I got a spirit problem. You saw me on the last video with my shirt off? Yep, I got a spirit problem. I'll do this YouTube video with my shirt on or off because I need to tell the YouTube people about my spirit problem. That's what I gotta do. I finished my whole story. I told you everything you need to know about my spirit problem. I still have a spirit problem. People, and I'm drinking coffee right now, making breakfast. And I also told you that the God Almighty of Abraham and the spirits, they consequent me so greatly, and then they also gave me an ability. And what the ability is I can tell you what God Almighty said, and I can tell you what spirits say on command at any time, kind of like John Edwards. And I also told you that some of the thoughts that were in my head was that maybe Aaron Barth can use his ability to maybe try to find a missing lady that's been missing for 10 years, and her name is Michelle Harris. All I gotta do is just talk, people, and God Almighty will be doing the talking. It's like I'll be talking, but really it's not me. You'll understand it's God Almighty, and I'll be talking, and you'll understand it's the spirits, and I'm gonna ask them questions like, where is Michelle Harris at? And I want to let you know that I only kind of want to use my ability for explaining my story to the people on YouTube, what God Almighty said after all that I said about my spirit problem on YouTube. And I just want to try to sneak in God Almighty's heart, like if a retard who has an ability because he got in trouble by God Almighty could use his ability to maybe try to do a service for God Almighty and maybe try to talk and put on YouTube his ability like God Almighty. I know that on the besides most important about me and the N-word and beating up that puppy, God Almighty, where is Michelle Harris at? And that is kind of where I'm at today, and I'll start with my ability a little bit today. Okay, here we go. This is my ability, so you guys gotta listen, okay? This is about my spirit problem. God Almighty said I don't have the right to have a freedom. He said, you don't have the right to have a freedom in your life, Aaron, because he said you're not sane enough to be able to say that anything that you want to and put it on YouTube. And God Almighty said it's illegal to put yourself on YouTube. Aaron, didn't you know that? And God Almighty said, it's not that illegal to put yourself on YouTube, Aaron. It's not. It's just you don't have anything to do. And yes, you have a spirit problem, Aaron Barth. Yes, this is God Almighty explaining to Aaron Barth that yes, you have a spirit problem, Aaron, and you got to deal with it with all your heart and soul. That God Almighty said, you don't have the right to have a freedom, Aaron. You don't, because you don't have the right to beat up a puppy. You don't have the right to beat up a puppy that bad, Aaron. You beat up a puppy so bad that God Almighty said there's nothing wrong, Aaron, with a spirit problem being in your life. And you believe God Almighty of Abraham said there's nothing wrong with Aaron Barth having a spirit problem today. And God Almighty said if Aaron has a spirit problem and he can't get rid of spirits, then God Almighty said, I want Aaron to do his best to believe God Almighty the Father knows Aaron is with his shirt on, but sometimes Aaron has his shirt off, and he's trying to just do what kids do, and he's trying to express to people on YouTube that Aaron has a gift on the side too. And the reason why he did his story on YouTube was because he has a spirit problem, people, and he wants to express to people that yes, he has a spirit problem. Yes, he has an ability. Yes, he wants God Almighty to help him with his spirit problem. And yes, God Almighty said, Aaron, your eggs are burning, but the truth is you could cut the video short and express to people on YouTube that yes, you do have an ability. Yes, you do have breakfast burning. Time out. People, stop. I have breakfast burning. Listen, you have to catch me after the next show.